seems like taking command of the locker room and the team comes extremely naturally to you. Is that ever awkward here, though, given the fact that you're a rookie and you're not like the franchise guy yet? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I feel like my goal coming in was to earn the respect of the guys that have been here. And as a rookie, you can't just come in and be a rah-rah guy and try to act like you're the guy already. So I just try to do my part, pay my dues, and earn my stripes, and that still hasn't changed. Like I still have to do that kind of stuff as a rookie now, but my whole thing was, man, I'm going to go in and support the quarterbacks, compete, and push them to make them better. And if my opportunity comes, then obviously make the most of it. And I feel like the guys have seen that, the older guys have seen that, and they respect that. And so I appreciate them for that. And honestly, we all want to win. That's what. And if that takes a rookie quarterback, so be it. That kind of thing. So, yeah.
The Christmas card, behind it, and then the choice to have Alfredo in the back with the Mexican flag. What was going on there?
Yeah, we originally wanted to get all of us roommates in some like Christmas sweaters and then get in front of the tree that we got in our apartment. We got lights up and everything, stockings with our initials on them. That's what I wanted to do, but they, I don't know, they were sort of in a rush to get the card put together, and so we just found a picture of Nick and I, and then we had to throw in Alfredo separately of him holding the Mexican flag. So it was sort of put together last minute, but I'm honestly glad the way they turned out. So. Yeah, it's great. Great Christmas touch.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel a lot better compared to last week, going into the game and everything. Like just compared to how I felt going into the game, and then obviously having a good 3 days before doing anything of just rest and recovery, feel a lot better. So.
Was there doubt that you were going to play in that game as you started to warm up, even in your mind? I mean, obviously, outwardly you're going to say you're going to play, but when you took the field to warm up, were you wondering?
I knew that I was going to start out the game. I didn't know if I got hit or if something happened, if things got worse with my oblique and whatnot, if I would have to come out of the game, that kind of thing. I knew that I was going to start the game and roll from there and just see how it felt, but there was never a question of if I was going to play or not. So.
How much do you rely on your pocket presence and immobility to protect yourself in those situations?
Yeah, I think it's nice to be able to use my legs a little bit, get out of the way in certain situations, and have a good feel of when the ball needs to get out, that kind of thing, rather than just being a statue and trying to go through my reads, but sort of being elusive in the pocket and getting the ball out to guys like Christian or George on checkdowns and whatnot. So I feel like that definitely helped me play throughout that game and play safe. So.
At times you got hit a couple times. I assume it didn't feel great.
Honestly, just the adrenaline and stuff that I had from the game, I was fine. Even the sacks or taking a hit off the edge from a safety, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Just the blood was pumping. I was in the game mode, so those kind of hits were fine. So it was just after the game, the next day you feel a little sore from those kind of things, but that's it's like every game. So.
It seemed like you saw significantly less blitzing than you did the previous 2 weeks. When you went back and watched film, how did you feel in terms of getting through progressions and things like that? You had a chance to sit in the pocket.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part we did a solid job across the board. Making sure that I was able to go from one read to the next and get the ball off on time. So that was positive to see, but there's also a couple plays that we have out there, that I have out there personally where I could do a better job of getting through, the entire progression. So those are things I can continue to chip away at practice and in the meeting room. And Greasy, Kyle, all those guys, I mean, they're real with me, so they're like, man, you got to get better in this area or that area. So I know I have a lot more, room to grow. So.
How would you describe Jimmy and Trey's contribution to you? I assume they're in there in the quarterback room with you, going over things. I mean, your skill set's a little bit different than Jimmy's, which is a little bit different than Trey's, and Kyle kind of tailors the offense to it. But how is it put together between them?
Yeah, I think everyone plays the game a little bit differently, but at the core, we're running the same offense with Kyle. His mindset in terms of the progressions and where we need to be and where the ball needs to go. So we all have a different perspective of it, but we know what the main goal is, which is awesome because Jimmy's been in the offense for a while now. Trey obviously has had a whole year under his belt, so he helps me out with things that he experienced his rookie year and whatnot. But all those guys, man, all the input that they have, it's been great. I'm very blessed and thankful for their perspectives on things. But at the end of the day, when you go out and get the snap, like, you are your own player. I'm not Trey, I'm not Jimmy. I'm myself, and then same with them. And we all play the game slightly differently, but we play in the same system. And so we just trust in Kyle and his progressions and the way he teaches us. So it's really how we go about things.
You mentioned Greasy, there also is Kubiak, there's Bobby Slowick. It seems that Kyle's built quite a robust room of coaches to work with the QBs. How well do they work together? And, obviously 3 different starters this year. You and Jimmy have both been playing really well. How much do you kind of attribute that to the coaching room that Kyle's built for the quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the foundation that they have in terms of the system, the way they coach, the things that they believe, within the offense, man, that they don't waver in it. They stay true to themselves, and they stay true to how they coach, and that's honestly helped all of us. Trey was doing great, all throughout camp and then the first couple of games, and then Jimmy came in and then myself. So definitely a credit to those guys, man, in terms of, preaching and coaching the same things. And honestly, they all help each other out with things. It's not just one guy in there preaching the same thing. They all get each other's, opinion on things, and there's no ego. So all those guys, they want to win, and at the end of the day, they do what's best for the team. So definitely thankful for all the guys in the room. It's not just one guy. So
It's his first year as a coach, so I'm kind of curious how you've seen him grow as a coach. And I mean, aside from his ability to relate from his past experiences, does he go over fundamentals and miss landmarks with you on what you need to do?
yeah, Greasy's awesome in terms of footwork and rhythm and seeing safety, structure, just all that stuff. He's obviously he played the position and he can relate to us, which is great. But I think even from the day I got here till now, him speaking the terminology of which Kyle teaches and everything, you could see him even growing as a coach, and he loves it, man. You could just tell every single week is a challenge for him, and he loves it. And so he's done a great job as a coach, and we've all seen him get better as a coach. So I'm excited for him moving forward.
You mentioned no ego for the quarterback coaches, but there also seems to be not a lot of ego in the locker room, which is filled with a lot of stars. Is that something you guys talk about, that there's a goal in mind and personal goals maybe take a back seat?
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, we have all these, Pro Bowl caliber players, and at the end of the day, it's not all about the stats and the receptions and touchdowns and sacks or whatever. Those things come and go. I mean, at the end of the day, this team, we have the goal of, winning the whole thing. And so all those guys are doing what it takes in terms of, they may not get a lot of catches this game, but they're going to block their butt off for the guy running the ball and things like that. So definitely no ego, and that's across the board. And it's rare when you get a team like this with the amount of talent that we have. And so you only get so many opportunities to win the whole thing, and I think the guys in the locker room understand that. So.
Following up on that, Brock, you mentioned the goal to win the whole thing. When you got here, how much did you kind of sense the sense of urgency of a team that's in a window and has guys who've been close and haven't got over the hump?
Yeah, I feel like I sort of sensed it just from the jump. The way meetings were ran, the way we went through OTAs and the structure of it, and the intensity from guys, like Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, and then obviously the older guy, even Trent when he got back. All those guys, man, they've got paid, they've done it all, and them coming in and the fire and the drive that they had in their eyes, I was like, man, there's something different about this place. And so I could tell they have one mission, everyone's hungry to win the whole thing, and it hasn't changed. So.
I have a couple more Christmas questions for you. What are your favorite holiday traditions, and what's your favorite Christmas song?
Favorite holiday traditions. I would say Silver Bells is my favorite song, by, who's that, Dean Martin. So I love that song. And then some favorite movies. I do like The Grinch. I like The Family Stone. And one more, probably Home Alone. It's a classic.